It's a Thursday afternoon, and the new jobless numbers are in. Meantime, Yum Brands beat estimates for fourth quarter on both earnings and revenue. Kohl's numbers continue to improve despite seasonal sales. The Nasdaq ended a little bit sharper for the day, along with the Dow. Senator Amy Klobuchar is asking for sweeping antitrust reform that could impact your stimulus. Meantime, a new child tax credit is proposed, but will it ever see light of day under stimulus? A new jobs report is coming out tomorrow, and the big shocker of the day on stimulus, a $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness is going to become law. All the exciting big news on an afternoon's LALATE, from Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home. This is a big recording of Afternoon's LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Afternoon's LALATE, and Wall Street just closed minutes ago with the Dow slightly up about 279 points, the Nasdaq up about 118 points for the day. Tesla was down $10 throughout much of the day. Apple up about $3 to $136, and Walmart up about $1. But big news on stimulus across the board. New job numbers were in today, jobless numbers in today. Child tax credit got a new bill. Isn't going to ever see light of day. A new jobs report number comes out tomorrow, and a $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness is going to become law. Wow, I have all the details for you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This is the most comprehensive financial news channel out there, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, covering everything and everything, the most comprehensive and the most interactive. It's followed on Afternoon's LALATE with third stimulus right after this, where I go over in detail all the provisions of the third stimulus package, and then live with you in the best interactive format you can deliver on What the Chuck. I go over all the details that are hitting today and answer your questions live on air. In this recording, I have so much happening, so make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Have access to documents and information about stimulus before anyone else. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. The link is in the top of the chat, in the bottom of the description, and also in the pinned comment. So much happening today. So much jaw-dropping, incredible news that no one saw coming, including 24 legislators supporting a $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you start the day is that Thursday started promising as the new jobless numbers out every Thursday came in, and the number showed improvement. Economists were expected to see an improvement across the board, but what did they see? The new jobless numbers showed an improvement for Thursday. Illinois, the state of Illinois, showed the biggest drop in new jobless claims, but California offset that with the steepest increase of new jobless claims. Another jobs numbers comes out next Thursday. But on Friday, tomorrow, we see a different number. That's the job creation number. That's a monthly report. And both these numbers are used by Bernstein, the chief economist to Joe Biden, in determining stimulus packages going forward. He says he doesn't use them solely, but he does use them in consideration of other factors. The new jobless numbers out tomorrow. What will they be? I'll be the first to deliver the news to you. But Wall Street's predicting to see 50,000 new jobs created in the month of January, up from a decline of 140,000 jobs. They don't know what's going to happen with travel and leisure. They're looking for an unemployment rate to come in at about 6.7%. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow morning on Morning to LA. I'll have the details as soon as it hits. We're forecasting an increase of 200,000 new jobs. It shows some improvement relative to December when we lost jobs, says Michelle Meyer, head of Bank of America's research department as an economist in a new statement obtained by LA Today. The swing factor should be hospitality and leisure. Well, all those numbers determine how much stimulus you get going forward. And then there was a child tax credit announcement today. Yes, another bill was introduced to the Senate today to give you thousands of dollars of money for a child tax credit. But is it going to see light of day? Never. Who's it from? Mitt Romney again. It's called the Family Security Act, and it was introduced to Thursday by Mitt Romney, who on this channel, I think I've detailed Mitt Romney's bills more than anyone else. A day doesn't go by. Sometimes it feels like an hour doesn't go by until there's another Mitt Romney bill. What he does is he writes a bill, introduces it, and never again talks about the bill another day. I've been detailing the Mitt Romney hazard pay bill from 2020 and other Mitt Romney bills where he just sort of introduces them and then sort of goes on to the next bill. So why is this never going to see time of day? For a series of reasons. One, it's being introduced to a Senate controlled by the Democrats. Chuck Schumer never called for a vote. Two, Chuck Schumer should never call it for a vote or anyone else. Why? Because it proposes to give more money to children by cutting Social Security. Yeah, not a particularly popular concept, is it? Now, Joe Biden certainly proposes to give you a child tax credit, but he doesn't do it by cutting your Social Security. Is Mitt Romney making a run for 2024? All indications from this channel suggest he is. In less than 3 months, I think I've detailed 4 Mitt Romney bills. There was one last week, there was one today, there was one in December. It seems as though every time I blink, there's a Mitt Romney bill, and none of them ever seem to go from point A to point B. But he certainly get a lot of press for it. Then, what about the student loan debt forgiveness? This came out of nowhere, and it was a shocker. But first, let me talk to you about your stimulus check. The stimulus check is going to be happening. It's a finality. It's going to be your law. Why? Because of what happened this week. This week, Congress passed what's called a reconciliation. A reconciliation is anchored with another bill, or tied, or bootstrapped, or paper-clipped to another bill. That other bill is the $1.9 trillion stimulus package of Joe Biden. The reconciliation says, hi, we don't have to do much of anything to approve the bill that's paper-clipped to this. All we have to do is have all the Democrats support it, which they do, and you're done. And that's it. The analogy or the metaphor I use on this channel is a tow truck with a tow hitch. The tow truck is the reconciliation. It's already passed. It's law. The tow hitch is what's behind the tow truck, and it's carrying on it the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. The issue is just what day. What day will they call for a vote? The $1.9 trillion stimulus package. It's not an issue of will or won't or how. And I know it may sound a lot different than 2020. Well, this is a new year and there's a lot of new different balances of power. So this is the way you're going to start seeing things in 2021. And I know earlier this week you heard a proposal to change this and change the income level. Ignore all that. That is out of the discussion. The discussion is Joe Biden's bill, what day and when. Joe Biden has made very clear he's willing to listen to everything, but he's not going to be changing anything. It's exactly his way or the highway. $1,400 stimulus check for individuals, $2,800 for a married couple, $1,400 for children, $3,200 for adult dependents. Doesn't matter if you're on benefits or not on benefits. Same amount for you as well as everyone else. $1,400 for individuals, $2,800 for a married couple, $1,400 for children, $3,200 for adult dependents. Single check. And then we turn to FPUC. FPUC will be slightly retro, but not retro to July. Retro to January when the second stimulus package started. At $300 a week, this will come in and give you an extra $100 because it's $400 a week, and then bring you up to the president and continue to September. It's a lot of weeks. It's about 40 weeks. And while I don't wish that anyone is unemployed for 40 weeks, if you are, you'll be getting a lot of money. On just the FPUC part of it, you'll be getting about $16,000 of FPUC over 40 weeks. That's 40 weeks times $400. Then you will also be seeing the add-ons of UI and PUA underneath that, which if you've done the escalate benefits detail on this channel and qualify for it, that could raise your weekly benefits to about $700 a week. over 40 weeks? Yeah, that's somewhere around $30,000. A lot of coverage and a lot of help. What are the other items in the third stimulus package? That's coming up in the video right after this. Stay with me on third stimulus, where I go through all the deal provisions. And the big exciting news on that is that suddenly there's a lot more provisions than even I had detailed on this channel. We're now up to about 27 provisions. Now it's sort of like when they say, is he saying dancing bear or dancing bear? It's pear, not bear. And you have an emoji for it. Now, the new jobs report. Boy, if you've not liked this video yet or subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm about to give you the jaw-dropping big news about the $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness. This is the time to subscribe and like this video. Here you go. You're going to see a $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness become law in about the next 30 days. This channel's predicting. Why? Because the events that happened today. Today, no less than 1, 2, 3, 7, and plus 14, 17 senators, including Chuck Schumer, and 45 House representatives, all Democrats, wrote Joe Biden a letter and said, hey, you got to do this. $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness, either by executive order or we're doing it by law. We're doing it by bill, and we're going to pass and send it to your table. Now, this is going to be called for a vote. Chuck Schumer's going to call for a vote. Nancy Pelosi wants it. Every Democrat wants it. So this is actually happening. The question is, what mechanism will it happen? Will it happen by bill, or will it happen faster by executive order? It will happen. And now let me explain to you first what it is. Let me then explain how it will work. And third, let me explain to you why this is so big for people on benefits like Social Security. You know exactly what I'm about to get to, but that's coming up in just a second. Student loan debt forgiveness was the topic of this channel back in October. I told you that Chuck Schumer had said during the transition times that on day one of the administration, day one of the Biden administration, he wants an executive order to forgive $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. About 4 days after that statement by Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden says, I would like to do $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness, but I'd like Congress to give me a bill for it. The statement was slightly contradictory because Chuck Schumer wanted it by executive order. Joe Biden wanted it by bill. Why was that said then? Analysts basically said that Joe Biden didn't think that he had executive authority under the Constitution to do it by EO, that he'd rather have Congress do it by bill, which was a safer legal bet. Well, here's my opinion of the situation. In the last 7 days, there have been a series of reports where Joe Biden has literally said on the record as to his executive orders, if the Republicans don't like it, go sue me. Those have been the exact words that have come out of the White House. The White House has taken a very much different approach and mentality in the last 7 days, which you've heard from me a lot, where they basically said, go big, go bold, do what you got to do, and if people want to, if Republicans want to take you to court over executive orders, let them do it. And with that, I think there is a possibility that Joe Biden of February compared to Joe Biden of January may do this by executive order. If he doesn't do it by executive order, then it would take a few more days and it's going to go by bill. The resolution today is the bill process. On Thursday, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat of Massachusetts, Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer out of New York, and Representative Ayanna Pressley out of Massachusetts reintroduced the resolution. It's a bill to push the Department of Education to use its inherent authority to forgive $50,000 in student loan debt. Presley appeared before press with a major announcement today. The student loan debt crisis has always been a racial and economic justice issue. Warren said that this is the single most effective executive order Biden can take to kickstart the economy. So Warren said, we're doing a bill, but here's the push for you to do by executive order, Mr. President. Warren and Schumer met with Biden in the last 24 hours about the issue and are pushing the president and his people to sign it. So you could see it happen by executive order in the next few days if it doesn't go by bill a short time thereafter. This is really quite huge for a series of reasons, and you know the third reason I'm about to get to. One, because it is economically a great concept. It does really help the economy. Economists have already said that forgiveness of student debt does help the economy. Number two, it's great for viewers of this channel. Viewers of this channel have student loan debts, and this is a big issue. They've been talking about it with me for a very long time, since October, so you really need this. But third, and you know what the third item is, it's Elizabeth Warren. It's Elizabeth Warren. If it's this, then the next one is Social Security and SS benefits. Elizabeth Warren on Sunday appeared on broadcast news and says there's a lot of stuff we got to get done soon. Don't take your time. Get things done. I always told you that Biden had a series of stimulus packages to do one after another. And I told you I'm not numbering them as though one is before the other. I'm just saying these are the things he has to take care of. He has to do third stimulus, which is $1.9 trillion. He has to do SSI. He has to do student loan debt forgiveness. He has to do the teachers, and he has to do infrastructure. Guess what happened today? Elizabeth Warren, less than 5 days after she said you have to do the Social Security reform right now, said you also have to do this, the student aid forgiveness. One after another is finally happening. This is the most promising news that you see on the subject for a couple of days. Meantime, tomorrow you're going to see more details as well. But before that, join me in about 2 minutes right after this with the continuation of Afternoons LALATE when I go through the big new surprise items and provisions that are in this third stimulus package. That's right after this. So make sure you subscribe, like this video, and consider becoming a member of Purple Hawk Purple Power Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay in LA for more.